What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome to the MK Pugilism Boxing channel, where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that. And yeah, let's get into this one. So this one's just going to be brief, really, because the fight was very brief. That was between Moses Itauma, who's the 19-year-old prospect, or many call him prodigy, a guy that's been sparring with some top guys from the time he was a young amateur. I believe he sparred with Anthony Joshua, Joe Joyce, to name a few. And he really does look to be the goods. And last night he was in a fight where I suppose it was, well, no, I don't suppose, I know it was supposed to give him some rounds. It was a fight where he was expected to be taking a few rounds and given a bit of a test, and he was going to have to go through the gears. And this was a fight where I think going into it, I would have expected it to go at least to go at least mid to late rounds, just due to the nature of who he was fighting. He was fighting Maris Wach, and Maris Wach, he's a guy that I think he's only been down before Moses Itauma's fight. He's only been down about once, maybe twice at the very most. So he's a guy that's very tough. I think even in his stoppage losses, all of his stoppage losses, he's only been sort of stopped on his feet. So although he's up there in age, he's in his 40s, he's about 42 or something, 40 and 40, 41, 42, something like that. He's an older guy, but he's also a very tough guy, very seasoned, very durable. The last fight I saw of him was him taking Fraser Clark the distance, and we know that Fraser Clark, he's in his mid-30s, but good amateur fighter, and he has good pedigree, does Fraser Clark. He punches pretty hard too, and he was unable to get Maris Wach out of there. Maris Wach's also fought Vladimir Klitschko. Klitschko back in the day when he was in his pomp, and when Wach was also a bit younger, he wasn't able to get him out of there. Beat him on points. Hughie Fury, another guy, unable to get rid of him. Dillian White, another guy that was unable to get rid of Maris Wach, and he's been beaten by these guys, but the one thing they all have in common is that none of them have been able to get rid of him. So that's where, in this fight last night, Moses Itauma really impressed. And from the off, he was very sharp, and you could tell that there was a great difference in speed, as would be expected. But he was very intelligent with his work. He was sort of placing his jab, just sort of flicking his southpaw jab out. And flicking it out there with a nice bit of speed, and it was going downstairs early, there was dropping the left hand to the body and then flicking the right jab upstairs, and it was brilliant work by Moses Itauma, just with nice punches from range. And he was doing really smart things in there, just sort of varying the power, coming with the right jab from southpaw stance, and then whipping a right hook around, around the guard of Wach, and getting to him with that punch over and over again. And he was just doing all the moves last night, all that, all the southpaw skills, nice, sharp, crisp work, and he really did look excellent. He was able to get to Wach, hurt him to the body from early, and round two comes around, and it was just more of the same. He just kept peppering him, doing a lot of this stuff that you see elite boxers do, which is, when you're throwing punches, you feint, you vary the power. So you might throw a little jab just to test someone, just to check where they are, just to get a reaction out of your opponent, and then you drop in a heavy shot. And he was doing that to Wach with ease, and just landing these speedy right hooks constantly over and over again. And he got Wach hurt, shots to the head and everything. And yeah, he just piled on the pressure onto Wach, put him down, which as I say, is probably only the second or third time Wach's been down in his career. And this is a guy with, I don't know, at least 40 plus, coming up on around 50 fights. And Itauma, as a young 19-year-old, was able to just put him down. and Wach bravely gets to his feet, but you could tell he was all over the place. Referee lets him fight on, and again, Moses Itauma just jumps on him again, bam, 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 and it's all over. He was swaying and rocking all over the place under the impact of the punches, and Itauma just put him away. And I mean, this is one of them where I'm sure, yes, probably people are gonna criticize and say, "Oh, yeah, you're going on about how good this young guy is, but he's fighting a 40-odd-year-old man, blah blah blah." But yeah, I mean, that's true, but he's a 40-odd-year-old man that, up until recently, he fought a good prospect in Fraser Clark. He was unable to really dent Wach. He was unable to put him away and do what Moses Itauma did last night. And going back in his career, he's a guy that doesn't really hit the deck and doesn't really get stopped that often. So he's a very tough, durable man, regardless of what people want to say about him. And that's up until recently. The Fraser Clark fight wasn't that long ago. So for me, I was very impressed with Itauma. Showed good upper body movement, good punch evasion, and a good punch selection where he was able to just put it on Wach, and showed impressive speed. The speed was very good last night as well, because Wach couldn't really see where the punches were coming from. He couldn't really brace himself for them, so he was able to surprise Wach with some of the angles he was using. That was impressive, and everything about it was impressive. The movement, the speed, the punch variety and punch selection, very, very good. And from what Frank Warren said after the fight, they're looking to get him out again soon, and they want Fraser Clark. That's who Frank Warren wants. He said that he's ready to put him in with Fraser Clark now. He's ready to make that step now. So yeah, I think, and I tell you what, I think for me personally, Fraser Clark is a good fighter, but I'd be probably backing Moses Itauma to do a job on him, and that's, don't get me wrong, that experience-wise, Fraser Clark's got more experience. He's fought the better opposition and everything, but I just think the talent of Moses Itauma and the intelligence in that ring, I just think will overcome Fraser Clark's sort of greater experience. And yeah, for one, I'd be up for seeing that fight next. Whether it is going to be made, I don't know, because from my understanding, as he fought Fabio Wardley to a draw for the British title, I think that rematch between them two is probably what will be next for Fraser Clark. I think that's what Fraser's going to be looking at next. If he's got sense, I think that's probably where he goes next, because you can then pick up a belt. But yeah, if I'm Frank Warren, I'd be the same too, sort of confident in putting Itauma in with anyone like that, anyone at British level, because obviously he's looking to break Mike Tyson's record, and he looks to have the maturity, the skill in the ring to do it. And especially if the titles become fragmented, let's say we get Daniel Dubois pulls off an upset against AJ, why not? You throw him in there with Daniel Dubois or whatever. But yeah, I'd be pretty confident putting Moses Itauma in with most of these guys at anyone pretty much at British level. As for what exactly is next, I don't know, but I think he's progressing at a decent rate, and he, I wish him all the best. Really, I think he's, I want to see him try and break this Mike Tyson record, see if it can be done, because I suppose that's what records are there for. They're there to be broken. So yeah, very impressive by Moses Itauma. Let me know what you thought about the fight, what you thought about his performance. Do you rate it, or perhaps you're one of the people who doesn't rate it? But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And until next time, it's MKO Pugilism, over and out.